What's up, YouTube? New video tonight. My wife's 2012 Hyundai Elantra. Her headlights aren't cutting it anymore. I took it for a ride the other day to do a chore, and yeah, the stock bulbs suck. I don't know if it's because it's been a while. I don't remember having good lights. And she doesn't want LEDs. I put LEDs on my Honda CR-V. I think they're wonderful. But, so basically I'm just going to make a video on how to replace your stock bulbs in your Hyundai Elantra. The bulbs I've chosen for my wife's car are the Silver Star Ultra. And we're going to be replacing the low beam lights. We're not doing the high beams. And for that, you're going to need H11 bulbs. I bought these on Amazon. I think it was around $38, cheaper than Walmart. I went to go to my local Walmart to see if I could just get it there, and they wanted $45. Not to mention the fact that they also put it in a locked glass case where you can't find anyone to help you basically half the time, so you just be waiting there for like half an hour while trying to find someone to get the light bulbs out. So I do recommend buying these on Amazon if possible, as long as the price is right, but make sure that you shop around. So first step, you want to get some gloves on. These are disposable nitrile gloves. So that way when you touch the bulb, you won't get your oils from your skin on it, because that will cause premature bulb burnout. Alright? Second step is to go down. This is the passenger side, and if you notice, they have a little cap back here. See this cap? Okay, you're gonna turn it counterclockwise. And then once you get it there, it should pop right out. Put that to the side. Step two, once you have that cover off, you're gonna go back down in the back here, and you will see the which is that green thing, part of it at least, and then they'll have a connector over here. You just want to rotate that counterclockwise as well, and then gently pry out of the hole. So again, that's counterclockwise, and then you pry the bulb out of the headlight assembly. Okay, really easy. Next part is just to carefully, see these side clips right here? There's one here. There's one on the other side. You just want to pry those to the side when you pull the bulb out of the socket. That's going to take two hands, so I will be back with you in 1 second. So I got the bulb off. Just a little hint here. There's these two little tabs on the bottom, right where my fingers are. If you push those, it has these side things go up, and then you just pull the bulb out with the other hand. But it does require two hands. Now, if you notice on the bulb, it has that little plastic rib part right there. That lines up with the connector, so that you know which way is positive and negative or whatever you need. It only goes in one way. See that little slit right there? That's gonna have the plastic piece go in it. So you cannot put the bulb in wrong. And again, you want to wear gloves. Try not touching the bulb in any way, but you want to wear gloves because hand oil on the bulb will cause it to burn out faster. Okay, so I just connected it. Just push the bulb right on there in the right orientation. The next step is to put it in to the housing very carefully. First, worry about the bulb and getting it back in to the hole. So I'm putting the bulb in the hole. Okay, and then I'm going to rotate it clockwise until it locks eventually. This might take a couple tries because I can't really see, and it's a tight area. This is what it should look like when it's done. Again, you just really have to have some patience to get it in there, but once it's locked, it's not moving anywhere. Okay, that's how it looks. Last step is just to put the dust cover back on. Just right over here. You want to line up these prongs. Put the prongs over here. And they're on the inner rim. Don't know if you can see that. Just one right here, right where my finger is, but the little prongs, just line them up with the inside. Then once you have that, you just turn it clockwise. Hopefully you can still see this, sorry if you can't. There you go. Turn it clockwise until it stops, and then you're all set and your bulb is in. There's going to be a problem with the other side, by the way. Problem with the other side is this is how much space they leave you to get the bulb out. Now you could try to take the fuse box out, but your best bet, and it's just the same way of doing it, the best bet is to take your whole headlight assembly out, which I believe only consists of this screw and that screw, and then you have to carefully take this bolt off. And this whole thing will come out so that you can take the bulb out. So let's try doing that. Okay, so on the driver's side, took out this screw and that screw, okay, with a screwdriver. And then we have to go for, if you're running up the side, this bolt right here. This bolt's got to come out, so I got to get a ratchet. And then we should be able to take out the assembly enough to replace the bulb. I think this is a big pain in the butt, but it's got to be done. You got to replace the bulb. Tested all the sockets. You're going to need a 1/2 inch socket to get that last bolt out over here. And just be careful because all these have little washers. Even the screws that you take out with a screwdriver and the ratcheting one. So you don't want to lose any of those washers. I took the rest out just by hand so that we won't lose any. Now, if we pull on this ever so slightly and carefully, it should come out. So the headlight assembly is not coming out, so I started unscrewing this one right here. And just to make you aware, this has little prongs that open up as you tighten it down, so just be careful about not breaking any prongs. I'm only going to try to take off that one and then work my way to taking the whole thing off if I have to. I really don't want to take off anything if I don't have to, but might have to take off the whole thing to get this little bit out right here, because this is getting caught on there. Alright, this is officially a pain in the job. I undid the screws to try to take the headlight assembly out. I started taking the cover off by taking all the screws out, and I still, for the life of me, cannot get the headlight out. So what I did, and I'm going to try doing this now, I took the dust cover off by taking a screwdriver, right? And I have a little wiggle room here. I can pull this out a little bit, okay? So it's definitely worth unscrewing the stuff to try to get it out a little bit. And I did it counterclockwise, and if you see, I have access to the bulb. Barely, but I have access to the bulb, and I'm going to try to fit it in and out of there by getting my hands in there somehow. Just for safety, I disconnected my wire to this bulb right here, just by pushing down on the top and pulling it out carefully. And I also undid the air filter, so maybe I just have a little tad more space just by releasing that clip there and there, and I just lifted it up so I can get it out of the way. Alright, so you can see I got the bulb out. I had to wiggle this back a lot. Get my finger on the side here into the hole. There you go. And I push it down to the side, and I very carefully pried the bulb out. Now, I think I have a good chance of putting this back in. You gotta be really careful that you don't pull on the wires too hard, or else you'll be going to the dealership, I think, because it's really hard to get in there. So I'm just gonna replace this bulb and then put it back in the best I can. Again, I'm just gonna finagle it in the best I can, put it in the hole, and lock it back in. And that's gonna take me a while, but it also helps take off the fuse cover of the fuse box to get in there. When taking the bulb out, make sure that you don't lose this connector, okay? So you have to put the bulb in. And we're gonna do it just like the other side that we did over there. Put the bulb on, worry about getting it in there after. We'll finagle it in. So put the bulb on first. Remember to use gloves. All right, new bulb's on there. I'm gonna try to talk you through how I did this. So I rocked the headlight casing out by pulling on it, okay? And I'm gonna stick the bulb in first on its side into the hole. And I'm gonna try to reposition it once I get the wires and the bulb down there. That's how I did it. I might need 2 hands to do that, but that's how I did it. And now, if you see this little black thing, that's the connector inside. And I just have to rotate it with my hand until it locks in. There are these little prongs actually on the bulb. But you just want it in the same way that you took it out. And then you're gonna push on it to lock it, which means I'm gonna have to turn it that way. See my finger that way? Because what I did to get it out was I put my finger here and I pushed down really hard with my finger, and that unlocked it. So I know I have to turn it counterclockwise to get it in to this side. So wish me luck. This might take me a while, and I'll show you the finished product. So I don't know if you can see this. I got the bulb in the hole, and you can actually look from the front and see if your metal tabs line up with the hole. You'll have to rotate the bulb until it does, and then just pull it the other way, and it will lock in. I'm trying my best here to show you this, but I'm gonna have to have 2 hands again to get it in. Select the tabs, turn the bulb, lock it in. So I know you really can't see this, but I actually got it in. There are these little metal tabs. Let's see if I zoom in. Sorry about the focus. Give it a second. It might refocus. These little tabs on the top of the bulb. And they got in there, and they're all locked in. So it is possible to replace your headlight bulb without taking apart the whole car. Amazing. And you know, I said I wasn't gonna do the driver's side, but I had to. After seeing what you were up against, I had to. Once you get the bulb locked in, obviously the last thing to do is to get your dust cover. Carefully place it in. These little tabs are at 12, 9, 3, and 6 o'clock. Okay, you gotta fit it in there again. Make sure you got the rubber gasket. And then go, oh God, it's either clockwise or counterclockwise, I can't remember. But if you do that, it'll lock in, and hopefully you'll never have to change these things again. So when you're putting your car back together, after changing out a headlight bulb, I have to laugh, I'm sorry. Just know that these clip screws won't like tighten down all the way. Okay, they'll get a little snug, but that's all you need, because you need the screw to extend the little clips on the inside. And also, don't forget to put back your screws and washers here. And then you had a socket wrench hex nut here with washers, okay? And that should be it. Enjoy. This is so much fun. So these are the Silver Star Ultras. They're both working. They're pretty bright. So right off the bat, coming out of the garage, that's my garage right there. And it's snowing, but they're a lot brighter than the stock bolts. Hyundai, I'm gonna talk to you now. Owner of a car should be able to change the headlight bulbs. They should be able to do that in an easy manner, so that way there's no problems. I understand the Elantra is a compact car, okay? But it shouldn't be so compact that it's really hard to get at the bulbs and take them out, because heaven forbid, a headlight bulb might blow out. And if this is basically your way of trying to get us to have cars go in for service, where you charge like $50 to put in a set of standard crappy like stock bulbs, it will not work here. And I hope that everyone watches this video knows that you can do it. It'll hurt your hands a little bit, but you can get it done. Do not take it to the dealership. And honestly, we should all request that Hyundai make this easier to do in the future, because this was a big pain. I really hope this helped. I hope my frustration wasn't that bad, and I hope that you can change your headlights with the information I've given you. All right, YouTube, you're welcome.